Have a pleasant morning to everyone. I, at SHIVAJI Group of Institutions, welcome you all with the video lecture class. Today I am before you with the literature portion, not language portion. You people were studying with me a poem that was called Within. It's composed by James Patrick Kinney, and we have taken 2 video lectures to complete this poem. So this poem is completely completed. We came to know that there were 8 stanzas in the poem, and this is really very suggestive and inspirational poem because we came to know something about the human people, something about the negative feeling that the people have into their heart. So through this poem, the student and the people, those who have really very bad-hearted, narrow-minded, superstitious people and orthodox people, the people who really didn't want to help another one because of the feeling that they have imbibed their heart. So they had to remove those feelings. They had to nip in the bud those feelings. So what is the meaning of the nipped in the bud? Nipped in the bud means the thing or the habits, these are really gives you a negative opinion or the bad feeling into your mind. So we have to give them in the starting. Bad feeling or the negative point of the view or the negative opinion or the narrow-minded views that you people are having into their mind, and in a graceful process these are imbibing into your hearts, and day by day it will become your habit. And when the thing become your habit, so it's really very difficult to give it up. So that is why it's my suggestion to you, try to give your bad habits in the starting. So this is the message to you from this poem. So let's start the poem. The poem was completed in 2 videos. So today we will discuss the solution of the comprehension passages that are given in your workbook, and you have to complete that workbook. I'll provide you the PDF of that one. But today we will discuss about this one. So students, we will see that you have to open in your treasure trove book page number 26. Your comprehension passages are given page number 26, and the book name is Treasure Trove. Book name is Treasure Trove. So solution of the comprehension passage. So the first passage that is given before you, I'm just writing the first 2 words of this one. The first passage, their logs. Passage, this one, passage number, this one is given over here, 1, and the name of this one, their logs. Their logs, and the last word of this one is the cold within. The cold within. Fine. So student, this is your exercise that you have to do related to particular this poem. So the thing is that whenever we have read this poem, whenever we study this poem, so we came to know the gist of the poem, the central theme of the poem, or what this poem suggests you. So this is the main thing. This is very significant thing for you, that you have to keep all the things into your mind. Then you can reply all the answers. So the logs had tied in death's still hands was proof of human sin. So this is the last stanza of that poem. And they didn't die from the cold without, they died from the cold within. So this is written, this is the complete stanza that is written on your book page number 26. So what's the question is writer asking to you? Who are they referred to here? Who are they? Who are they? This is the question too. Who are they referred to here? Who are they? So through from the whole poem we came to know only the 6 people in a group. So they refer. What does the word they denote here? They refer to 6 persons in a group. They, you have to write they like this. They, like this, inverted comma. They refer to 6 persons in a group. They refer to 6 persons in a group. Fine. They refer to 6 persons in a group. And the next question is also here. Where were they? So they were all caught. They were all caught in an extreme cold weather. By chance, by any situation, they all were caught in an extreme cold weather, sitting near a dying fire. They all were sitting around the fire. And why were we trapped there? By chance or by any mishappening, they all were trapped there, they all were caught there. And it was a bitter cold, extreme cold weather. They seemed to be brought together by chance. So as it is said in the story, as it is told in the story, that they came together by chance. Willingly or intentionally, they didn't want to come together because they didn't like one another. Every one of them has a feeling of hatred, has a feeling of malice and jealousy like this. So, by chance, by any happening, they all came together in a strong weather, and that was severely cold at that time. So, this is the thing that the poet wants to explicit here, want to describe here before you. So, this is the answer of that particular question. Now, the second one, what were the locks in their hands? What was their significance? What was? So the locks in their hand were sticks of wood. So which type of the locks are these? So the locks in their hands were sticks of the wood. They all were having in their hand sticks of wood. And what it signifies? So the locks of wood needed to fuel the dying fire. So what is the importance of these logs of wood there? So the logs of wood needed like a fuel for dying fire. Fine. Or there was no hope for their survival. As it was severely cold, it was bitter cold at that time. They all were shivering with cold at that time. And so only the hope was that they all were having logs of wood, sticks of wood in their hands. So that was only a hope of their survival. This is the answer of the second one. Now the third one, what was the obvious cause of their death? The cold within means the obvious. What is the clear cause of their death? What is the crystal clear before you? What is the thing that you are getting from this whole poem? From first to last stanza, you have read this poem, you have studied this poem. But what is the main thing? What is the thing that it strikes into your mind? What is the thing that points out into your mind? Which thing is that? What is the main cause of his death? Their death. We know that they didn't die because of the cold that's outside. Even they died because of the cold that they had within their heart. Which type of the cold that they have within their heart? I just want to clear that. The cold within means the lack of the bond. They didn't have a feeling of passion. They didn't have a feeling of emotions for one another. Within born of selfishness, greed. This is the third one. The 6 people had their logs of wood back out of some prejudice. The fire died out. So, what was the cause of their death? The cause of their death is that all people were having some presumptions, some prejudices, and the logs of wood, the fire died out, and they died of cold. That is the lack of feeling for others. So, the main thing is that they all were died lack of feelings, lack of emotions, lack of generosity or kindness, lack of heart-touching feeling, or we can say lack of feeling something for others. They all were selfish. They all wanted to live for themselves, didn't want to do anything for others. That is why they all were died. This is the answer of the sixth one. And the fourth one, what do you mean by the cold within? How is it responsible for their death? So the meaning of the cold within, that is the title of the poem. What does it mean by? What is the actual meaning of this one? So the meaning of this in the cold within means the lack of the warmth, born out of the selfishness, greed, arrogance, etc. So all people really had a lack of warmth. They didn't have warm feeling in themselves. Their hearts were cold. Their hearts were cold. They didn't feel anything for others. They were not having a feeling of something that is related to your heart. Everything is going on into their mind. That is the thing. It is because of this negative feeling, the cold within, that they don't give up their stick of goods, which could have kept the fire burning and kept them alive. So this is because of this one. This is the main reason. This is the particular reason of that. They all were having a lots of wood into their hand. They all were holding them tightly. They didn't want to give them up because of the prejudice and the preassumption that they have into their mind. They didn't want to give them up. They didn't want to overcome from these barriers of the emotions that they have into their heart. So this is the thing. So that is why they all were responsible for their downfall. They all were responsible for their tragic end of life, tragic death. The last one. What message does the poet want to convey from this poem? What's the message? So, according to the poet, the prejudices of race, religion or color is sinful. It's really a bad feeling. It's really an opinion of orthodox or narrow-minded people. Which type of the feeling? The feeling of race. What does mean by race here? The feeling of race means if you are white in color, if your complexion is good, if your complexion is white, and the people who is standing before you, that is black in color. So what's happened at that time? You started hating that person. You started ignoring or neglecting that person. So really it's a racial discrimination. It's a racial discrimination. It's a complex problem, and this is one cause of their sin. And the another one, the person belongs to another church. It means the person belongs to another religion. So that is why he didn't want to help that person. He didn't want to continue his lots of wood to keep on that fire, or burning that fire. This is also the one. This is also one of the cause of their sin. And the another one, color problem like this. So color problem, racial discrimination, and standard of their living. One is poor and one is rich. One is black and one is white. One is Hindu and one is Muslim, like this. So you people have seen that there are 6 people. Someone is white and someone is black. And the one is poor and the one is rich. Another one is rich. And the another person who doesn't belong to same religion. So these all are the cause that were really a cause of their sin. We must rise from all prejudices to be kind, generous and helpful. We should not allow ourselves to be directed by the cold within, which is self-destructive. So here poet is saying that, is explaining here to the notion that we all people try to overcome from all these barriers, from all these prejudices. We try to think beyond this. We just leave these bad habits, we just leave that, the negative feeling that we have into our heart. Because if we are allow all these things into our mind, So that will be imbibed to your heart. That will be, you have it, you will be addicted of them, and you will never try to leave them. It will be very difficult for you to leave them up. That is why I have already told you that the bad habit should be lived in the bud. Otherwise, in the bud, it means when the things are at the beginning, when the things are at the starting, you can leave those bad habits. At the bud, means in the starting. But if it becomes a flower, so it will be very difficult to pluck that flowers, because flower means you like that thing. It's very impossible to pluck that flower. So that is the thing that I want to put before you, that the bad feeling and the negative feeling and the bad type of the opinion that you have into your heart, you just try to leave them up. Fine. Because this is the main cause of your self-destructive. This is the cause of your downfall. If you do like this, really you will get your tragic end. You will really meet your downfall. So this is the passage that is given for the comprehension passage. 5 questions are given here. You have to elaborate all the 5 questions, and the next passage that is before you, I'm just writing over here. I hope so that you have got very well this passage. The second one, 6 humans. Stories told. So the first question from this passage is that what brought the 6 humans together? Who were they? 6 humans trapped by happenstances. So what is the thing that brought them together? Who were they? Where were they? So there was a dying fire. What is the thing here? There was a dying fire around which there were 6 humans standing for heat. So this is the thing. What is the thing? There was a dying fire around which the 6 people were standing, and why were they standing? For heat, as they were too cold, as they were severely cold, as they were bitterly cold. And where were they? What is the venue? What is the platform of there? They all were in a forest. They all were in a forest where there was bitter cold. So this is the answer of the first one. And the second one, what each of them possessed. What use of it was made by each of them. What was they having in their hand? So each of them possessed a log of wood. Each of them possessed a log of wood by which the fuel would not die. So what was the reason of having the log of wood into their hand? So the reason of having the log of wood into their hand, because they wanted that the fuel would not, it was working like a fuel for that burning fire. So that is why they all were having, but they didn't want to contribute the logs of wood into the fire because of hatred, because of the feeling, negative feeling. So each of them possessed a logs of wood by which the fuel would not die, and it will keep on burning for a long. It will keep on burning for a long. This is the answer of the second one. And the third one, is there any significance of the log of wood in the hands of the 6th person? Is there significance? So yes, definitely it signifies. Yes, the logs of wood in the hands of 6th person is significant of having some kind of the prejudices and the assumptions that they have into their mind, and they all logs of wood are signified like the negative feeling and the feeling of hatred that they had into their heart. So it denotes, the logs of wood denotes the feeling of the hatred, the feelings of the malice, and the cold feeling that they have within their heart. So this is the answer of your third one. What could have these persons have done? So these persons might have forgotten all that. तो क्या कर सकते थे? What could they do? So these persons might have forgotten all or the selfishness, greed and arrogance. So they could have done that. If they try to overcome all the barriers that they have into their heart, so they might have forgotten all the greed, all the arrogance and the hatred and the feeling of selfishness that they had into their heart, and given their lots of good. And then after, what could they do? They could contribute their lots of good into the dying fire, by which they all would survive. The next question is before you, question number 4. What does the cold within signify? Cold within signify. So it signified the hatred. It signified the hatred filled them, that it makes a person to lead a sinful life. Cold within, what does it signify here? So the cold within signifies the feeling of hatred that is filled in their heart, and it makes a person to lead a sinful life. So the feeling of hatred really misguides the person, really misguides you. So this is the second passage that is before you. The second passage is that their dying fire need of lots, like this. So the second passage and the third passage, fourth one, fifth and sixth, and the seventh, and the assignment. These are the things that will be discussed in our next video lecture class. That is the sufficient for you. Student, all the question answer you will get as a PDF form. No need to bother about it. I hope so that you have got this poem. Please pay attention toward this poem that will become in your 22nd exam. So you have to read it again and again, so that you will get no confusion regarding this poem. And that is enough for you. I hope so that you have got it very well. Keep studying at home. Thank you and have a nice day to all.